So I've got the SC32 versus the SC18 and the SC31. And these are roughly the same size, with the SC31 a little bit larger, a little bit longer than the rest of them. So let's start off firstly with the SC32 on turbo. Okay. Not bad. I'll just activate the SC18 next to it so you can see what they look like together. Okay, SC18 and 32, 18. Okay, let me just, so that's the 18 here on the left, 32 here on the right, and I would say that the SC18 definitely throws a little bit further. Okay, it's got that dedicated TIR lens. The beam, as you can see, is definitely more visible, but the SC32 has a more diffused, wider sort of beam. One thing I'm noticing as well is that the SC32 does seem to ramp down a bit faster than the SC18. Okay, but I mean, side by side, if you just look at them together, you can see pretty easily the SC18 is out throwing it. And even just on the ground, you know, like deactivate both of them, try again. Okay, yeah, it's definitely brighter, the SC18 here on the left overall. And it also might be due to the fact that the 32 just ramps down faster. Okay, look at that, 32 has already started to ramp down a fair bit. You know, if I just turn it off, reactivate the turbo, it comes back on again. But that SC18 just seems to manage to hold its lumens and throw for longer. Okay, let's pull out the SC31. Okay, on turbo, and this one's Enduro. Okay, that is the SC31. Okay, SC31, and we'll compare that on the right to the SC18. So this one here on the left, SC31, here on the right, SC18. I would say they're very similar in terms of overall throw. I'll turn that off. Let's just try again. Turbo SC31 here, turbo SC18. Okay, very similar. I think the SC31 is just a little bit brighter. Seems to be producing overall more light. Okay, and dissipating the heat better. In the SC18 you can see it slowly starting to ramp down more, but the 31 seems to be continuing to hold for a bit. The SC18 though, I mean, with this lens you still get quite impressive performance and throw. Okay, they're almost on par. It's very difficult to tell. Even now the SC31 started to ramp down, and I wouldn't say there's all that much difference. Okay, but there is a little bit, seems to be a little bit brighter spill. Yeah, definitely brighter spill on the SC31. Look at that, just amazing. Okay, so that's the performance. Now I'm going to turn these both off and I'll bring out the SC32. I think we're going to know what's going to happen. The SC32 seems to ramp down pretty quickly, so let's start with the SC31 first. Okay, turbo, and this here on the right is SC32, and you can already see the SC31 on the left is throwing significantly further. It's tinting those trees more in the back. Okay, it's getting pretty hot as well on the left, but the interesting thing is that it's not doesn't seem to be traveling down the battery tube all that much. Okay, hotspot is definitely more intense, more spill, and a wider hotspot on the SC32. Okay, but you can already see that it's starting to ramp down. Okay, look at that SC32 here. Okay, really ramping down, whereas the SC31 still going strong. Still going strong. Very impressive. Might have something to do with the Enduro firmware. Well, it definitely does, because I have set I'm able to set the step down temperature to higher. Okay, but it is stepping down slowly. Okay, but look at that, 32, SC32, SC31, still going strong, but it is ramping down. And I'd say that they're getting close to a similar output now. Okay, yeah, I'd say they're getting very close to similar output. I mean, I can just reactivate the turbo on the SC31 again, and the SC32. Okay, and look at that, quite a big difference. But definitely impressive for little lights like this. I mean, considering how much throw you can get out of each of them, and they're just a very useful EDC sort of beam.